Vendors at the craft market along Harbour Street in downtown Montego Bay are voicing growing frustration over slow sales. Many are directing their anger toward the president of the Vendors Association.
Placards in hand, the vendors staged a protest to highlight their plight about the current state of affairs at the craft market. They claim that without changes in the promotions and management of the business, many stall operators could be forced to quit.
I am always a problem because you know why I'm the problem? Because everything that she does that is not right, I shut it down. The bar is for the association. The president opened the bar stating that it's going to be for the association. We kept a meeting on that. When we kept another meeting on that, she said that there's no revenue coming in for the bar, so she's going to rent it out to a craft trader. I said, no, bring it out to the wider public so that they can decide what they want to do because it's an association bar. Luckily, we kept a meeting the other day. The president stated that she is the one operating the bar. She's paying $10,000 for the bar and she dropped up her own lease. I said, no, that is not right. Take it out to the wider public. She said her back is broad. She does whatever she wants to do.
They're calling on the association's president, Pauline Anderson, to step down, arguing that stronger advocacy and new strategies are needed to revive sales.
Every time we try to say something, even after the storm, the secretary called the port authority to know what was going on, if the port is going to be open back for business. After that, I was the one that contacted them, and they told us that we could use tent. We passed information on to the president. The president said that we went above her head. We did not went above her head. We just trying to see how business can be done. And that is what we're presented for, because we are for the people, not for the president, because the president isn't the one that got us here. The people of the market is the one that got us there, and I'm going to stand on that.
However, the president has rejected the demands to resign.
It's not my time as yet to give. I just come inside. It is only...
How long now since you're being the president?
The 9th of March, it's gonna be 9 months.
So how long before election is called?
3 years. Every 3 years.
But they're saying that if you don't go, then there won't be any peace inside the market here.
There has to be peace. There has to be peace. I have to make sure there will be peace.
Janella Precious, TVJ News.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. The agriculture sector is still reeling from the impact of Hurricane Melissa, with the egg industry among the hardest hit. After suffering heavy losses in birds, Jamaica is now facing an egg shortage, prompting the Egg Farmers Association to raise questions about the importation of eggs. More in this report.
The Egg Farmers Association reported that about 400,000 birds were lost, leading to a shortage of eggs. Following an interview with the association, questions were raised surrounding the importation of eggs. However, Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green says there's no need for alarm.
Egg farmers have no reason to worry. In fact, it was the Egg Farmers Association who came to us and advocated for us to allow imports, understanding what was happening in the industry. You would remember that from Hurricane Beryl, we suffered tremendous damage to our egg sector. Despite assurances from the Egg Farmers Association that we would get back production within 6 months, that never happened. And in fact, right before Hurricane Melissa, we were still having difficulties where we still had retail outlets that were rationing the amount of eggs that people could purchase. So when Hurricane Melissa came along, we knew that there would be further difficulty to the sector.
Minister Green explained the process by which importations are carried out.
We look at the data in terms of the laying hens that we have in the flock that are producing. We look at where the gap is based on what is needed to satisfy the industry, and then we only import to fill that gap.
Jamaica also recorded a spike in egg prices as a result of the shortage. However, he says the ministry, along with other stakeholders, continue to monitor egg production levels.
What we are looking at is, are we now at a stage where the price will moderate because the production is back to the normal levels? Once that is the case, and the data shows that that is the case, there will be no imports.
Meanwhile, Minister Green moved to dispel reports of unlabeled liquid eggs being sold on the market.
Once they raise those issues with us, we send out a team to investigate the allegations. And once they are not in conformance with our standards, then they have to be changed. And that's there's a non-negotiable policy in relation to our standards. We continue to work it through. Our number one priority is our local farmers.
Aaliyah Bryant, TVJ News.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
President of the Realtors Association, Gabriel Gilpin Hudson, says the high interest and mortgage rates are negatively affecting the volume of sales currently being done, compared with 2024 and 2025. She explained that against the backdrop, the association has been urging members of the Jamaica Bankers Association to lower their lending and mortgage rates. Ms. Hudson, however, pointed out that the Bankers Association maintains that the asset tax and other regulatory fees make it challenging for them to reduce interest rates at this time. The calls for commercial banks to lower their interest rates intensified following the Bank of Jamaica's recent decision to reduce its benchmark or signal rate to 5.50% per annum from 5.75% per annum. The banks, however, insist that the asset tax must first be reduced or eliminated before they can lower their rates. Further afield, OpenAI has come to terms on a deal with the Pentagon. The agreement calls for OpenAI to provide its intelligence technologies for the Defense Department's classified systems. The announcement from the maker of ChatGPT came hours after President Donald Trump told federal agents to stop using AI capabilities from rival company Anthropic. Officials with the San Francisco company say it has come up with a method that will make sure its technologies will not be applied for domestic surveillance in the US. For the Business Minute, I'm Shane Masters.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, in Suriname, the National Assembly is expected to debate a treaty allowing Aruba, Curaçao, and St. Martin to deport Surinamese nationals who enter illegally. Suriname has agreed to accept its citizens, but the treaty must first be ratified. If approved, it would speed up deportations across the Dutch Caribbean and apply to hundreds of undocumented migrants, though exact numbers remain unknown. And on the international scene, following missile fire toward southern Israel, MD Adam Cruz treated and evacuated 19 people to Soroka Medical Center. Most suffered cuts from shattered glass, including a 35-year-old man in moderate condition. Senior EMT Adair Nazri, one of the first on scene, described widespread damage, broken windows, debris, and panicked residents. He helped evacuate people from upper floors, provided emergency care, and handed them over to teams for hospital transport in stable condition. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Aaliyah Bryant.
We head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.